We've reached that time of the year when our email inbox looks something like this. And I'm sure you're tempted to take advantage of these unique offers and are ready to pull the trigger on some of them. But wait, there's a thin line between grabbing a good deal and making impulse purchases. So, don't buy any plugin before watching this video. Okay, Black Friday deals are here, that time of the year we all eagerly await to refresh our arsenal of audio tools and toys. And who doesn't love a good deal, right? I'm the first one in line waiting for the hottest deals of the year to snag the things I've been dreaming about for the past few months. But more than once I've fallen victim to these super campaigns and the tactics these companies use to sell us plugins that end up abandoned, collecting digital dust on our hard drives. First of all, it shouldn't be called Black Friday anymore. It should be called something like Black November and December, because for the past 2 weeks I've been receiving emails with early Black Friday offers, and I think at this point we all know that these offers are going to be extended. We all have heard the old trick companies use, saying something like, "Due to public demand, we decided to extend our Black Friday offers for just 1 week more." But at the end of the day, you and I know that the only goal here is to take as much of our money as possible. And I get it, there are companies that want to make profit, there's nothing wrong with that, but we need to learn to control ourselves and not fall for marketing tricks. Let me tell you a little story. Last year, I remember making some UAD plugin purchases during Black Friday. And I've made a list of plugins that caught my eye. I spent some time evaluating which plugins I really needed and which ones I liked the most. In the end, I didn't buy the complete list. I chose just a couple of them, leaving a few that I decided not to buy. After Black Friday ended, I received this email about extended offers for 1 more week. And guess what? The doubt crept in. Should I or shouldn't I? Do I have to take advantage now? If I don't buy now, I'm gonna miss these prices. Your mixes are gonna sound much better with these plugins. Anyway, in the end, I ended up buying all the plugins on the list. The hard thing about it is that these companies know this. They use studied marketing techniques designed to persuade us to create needs where there aren't any. And you might be wondering, what happened to all the plugins I bought? Well, in terms of usage, it varies. Some I use extensively while others not as frequently. And this includes a few from the second batch I purchased. Truth be told, I could have easily done without them, and my mixes and productions will still sound identical. This is why I've decided not to buy a single plugin during this year's Black Friday. Enough with buying plugins for me. And speaking about plugins, today I want to challenge all of you watching my videos. Go to your plugin folder and count how many equalizers and compressors you have. And afterwards, leave that sometimes really painful number in the comment section below. And I say painful because I took on the task of counting how many equalizers and compressors I have in my DAW. You won't believe it, I have 76 different equalizers and 87 different compressors. I mean, who on this planet needs this many equalizers and compressors? One might think, wow, I really have a wide range of colors I can use on different types of instruments. But the truth is, sometimes there are so many options that instead of helping us, we waste a lot of time trying out new plugins instead of just using the tools we have to create the sounds we envision. Let me ask you one question. Do you think it's necessary to have 87 different compressors to create a good mix? Well, in my opinion, after so many years of mixing, I believe that with 2 or 3 compressors that we know inside out, we can create any sound we want. The same goes for equalizers. In fact, to be completely honest, nowadays with the numbers of plugins included in our DAW, the so-called stock plugins, we can create excellent mixes. It all depends on how we use these plugins and our experience. But hey, it's too late and I already have all these plugins in my folder. I spent quite a few dollars buying them, and honestly, if I could turn back time, I'd trade most of these compressors and equalizer plugins for 2 or 3 analog units that I know I'll always use and take the time to learn inside out. Now, before you start thinking I'm anti-plugin, let me clarify. Plugins are fantastic tools that have revolutionized the way we create and shape sound. The issue arises when we start to get kind of addicted to the kick we get when buying these plugins and end up having a collection that grows so big to the point where we don't even know what plugins we have anymore. Let's face it, the music production world has become a bit like a digital candy store, and Black Friday is the grand opening. We stroll in with wide eyes and innocent intentions, but before we know it, we're at the checkout with a full shopping cart, wondering how we got here. But wait a minute, what would be a solution here? How do we navigate the immense world of Black Friday deals without buying unnecessary plugins? Firstly, it's essential to acknowledge that having an abundance of plugins doesn't automatically make you a better producer or mixer. It's not about the quantity, but the quality and your understanding of the tools at your disposal. Now, let's talk about the psychological aspect of these sales tactics. Companies know how to tap into our fear of missing out, our desire to stay ahead of the curve, and our never-ending pursuit of the perfect sound. The truth is, the perfect sound isn't in the next plugin you buy. It's in your creativity, your ears, and your skill. But let's be real, the excitement of new plugins is hard to resist. The promise of a unique sound or groundbreaking feature is like a hot pizza for music producers. However, it's crucial to recognize that the magic isn't in the plugin itself, but in how you use it. So instead of spending your hard-earned cash on yet another compressor or EQ, invest in expanding your knowledge and refining your skills. Now, back to my challenge. I counted my compressors and equalizers, and it was an eye-opening experience for me. Do I really need 76 different equalizers? Of course not. Do you really need that many plugins? Take a moment to think about it. Imagine the freedom of simplifying your plugin collection, decluttering your workspace, and mastering a handful of tools. It's not about restriction, but more about liberation from the overwhelming choices that can paralyze your creative process. And here's the kicker. Some of the best mixes in history were created with a limited set of tools. The legendary engineers who shaped iconic albums didn't have access to the endless array of plugins we have today. They mastered their craft using a few trusted pieces of gear. So, this Black Friday, instead of adding more plugins to your virtual shopping cart, consider a different approach. Invest in educational resources like online courses or books that will enhance your skills. Take the time to delve deeper into the plugins you already have, discovering their nuances and capabilities. Now, you might be thinking, but what about the irresistible discounts? Trust me, those discounts will come around again. Companies are always eager to make a sale, and these discounts aren't exclusive to Black Friday. You won't miss out on a groundbreaking deal that will never return. Black Friday shouldn't be a race to fill your plugin folder with more tools that you can manage. It's an opportunity to reflect on what you truly need, to refine your skills, and to make intentional choices that will elevate your music production journey. So, let's break the cycle, resist the urge, and focus on what truly matters: your artistry and the music you create. And if you truly need some plugins this Black Friday, here's a video I made where I talk about the only 10 plugins you need to mix great vocals. See you there.